Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have a very, very special guest joining me on the show today. She is a two-time gold medalist. Right now, her current record is a 7-0 with 2 KOs. Also, she has been unified at 168. She has been unified at 160. Now she's trying to get down to 154 and trying to get some more belts. You know what I'm saying? So it's all strap, man. She got more straps than the Flint Police Department. You know what I'm saying? So she's getting it. Professor Shields, how's it going today?
All is good. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, man. I appreciate that. You happy Thanksgiving to you too. You coming off
Yeah.
of a very impressive victory over Hannah Rankin, unanimous decision. Didn't lose around. Just talk a little bit about that performance.
Well, Kemp was hard for that fight. It's hard for every fight, but I really just like made myself like focus super hard, and I really wanted to redeem myself from my last fight. Even though I won my last fight against Hannah Gabriels, I didn't like my performance, and I didn't like my conditioning, and I didn't like the way that I lost weight. So it was so many things that I had to fix going into Hannah Rankin. And I just fixed everything because it was like these girls were starting to get disrespectful, like saying like she's not the greatest woman of all time because she got knocked down. And but they don't want to finish the story and tell everybody that yeah, she got knocked down, but then she got back up and won. And I was just like, I'm just gonna let these girls know, like, no, I may have had you know, a 8 out of 10 fight, but at the same time, it's like I can still fix my mistakes and be better. So I really wanted to redeem myself. It wanted to just shut all the naysayers up. People saying that I don't know how to box, I don't know how to move my head, all this stupid stuff. And I'm like, man, I've been to 2 Olympics, and you can't be one dimensional or 2 dimensional and win 2 Olympic gold medals. So when I went out there just to show her, like, I'm not gonna stand right here in front of you. I'm not gonna go out there and brawl with you. I just showed her that my IQ and everything is way higher than she could ever imagine. She couldn't even touch me.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I want to back up 1 second. You said the
Mm-hmm.
fight before this, the way you lost weight was not good. Can you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, so for Hannah Rankin, with Hannah Gabriels, I started out at camp 6 weeks out, 183 pounds. That's the biggest I've ever been in my career. That's the longest I've ever had to lay off before a fight. I hadn't fought since
If I
January,
can
so
get down
now
to
we're fighting in
183
June.
and walk around at 183 or whatever, I'll be so happy.
The thing is, with my body, I didn't know I was that big. I'm always used to having big legs, and I always look skinny up top, but I didn't know I was 183. So once I hit the scale to start, losing weight for the fight, I said, oh, it's time to really buckle down. And it's like I had like this weird eating schedule. I wouldn't eat from 7 at night till like 11 a.m. the next day. So 7 at night till 11 a.m. That's over 24 hours that I wasn't eating. And I was doing that so I could lose weight faster. And I lost 10 pounds the first week, but once it got to the last week of the fight, I still hadn't touched 160 yet. The lowest I had touched was 163. And that Friday, so we got to Detroit on like Tuesday. I was 168. I was 168. So then the day before the weigh-in, I was 163. And I had already had not ate nothing the whole day before the weigh-in. And the day before I was drinking water slushies, flavor slushies, working out. And it's like this last few pounds did not want to come off. So now the night before the weigh-in, now we're in the steam room after not eating.
She probably
So
got
now we're yeah. So now we're in the steam room, not eating every day. And now we're in the steam room for 30 minutes to an hour shadow boxing the night before the weigh-in, and then the weigh-in wasn't until 4 or 5 p.m. the next day. So I didn't eat nothing. I was like, I think I went to bed at 160.3, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I woke up at 159.6, so I really couldn't eat anything. So I had to wait till the fight. So I really had to bust my ass to make that weight, and it was hard. But that's because I haven't had to lose weight in so long. I've been fighting 168, and I fought 165 in the Olympics. And like I said, I had never been that big before. But all hats off to Hannah Gabriel. But I know where I messed up at. She had one of her best fights on the day that I had one of my fights where I only had 60 and 50%. But either way it goes, I still won. And I had to let people know like that was just a bad experience for me. And for this fight, completely different.
Oh,
Completely different.
that's good. Is that part of the reason why you said you would never like even entertain the thought to go down to 147?
Yeah, I'm a big girl. You know what I mean? People don't see it, but I got really big legs, and that's my foundation. And like I said, I would gladly go down to 154, no problem. But 147 is too small for me. I haven't been 147 since I was 16 years old. That was my last Junior Olympics tournament, or like after the Junior Olympics. But right after that, when I turned 16, I was fighting 165. I shot up. So I've never been a small fighter. To make 147 wouldn't do me any good. I would really, I mean, I feel like I could do anything, doing it the right way with the right people. I can do anything, but it's just not something that I want to do. I believe that 147 is my lowest that I'll go, and probably a high of 175.
Oh, awesome! Awesome. I like heavyweight. How was the experience working with the zone, and how was the treatment from the zone?
You know what? The zone was so nice. And I'm like, first of all, I'm over the top. People don't know that, but I have like a very secluded team, and my
Come
team
on,
makes
come
sure
on. We
that
know.
I'm
We
like,
know. We know.
I ain't bougie,
Oh,
but you
you
ain't
know.
gonna mistreat me though. You know what I'm saying? So my team was like, wow, everything was well put together. They had the tickets, they had the passes. We didn't have no problems. It was one chick that was in a talent room that was acting kind of weird toward the end, but other than that, Eddie Hearn, the zone, everybody, the security guards, everybody treated us very well. And I didn't have like no stress like fight week, like not even 1%, like period.
Is that the fact that you were on the zone, or maybe the fact that you're not fighting in your hometown like you normally were?
It's so many things. I'm not gonna say it's because of the zone, but it's because of the things that I changed up. I have a whole different team than when I had my last fight.
We
Not
can
a
get into it.
not a whole different team. I got the same manager, but I don't have the agent I had. My mom and my younger sister weren't there, and my mom and my younger sister are always like over the top, needy. They were crazy for the Hannah Gabriel's fight. My younger sister and my mom. But just with that, I had a, I was really really focused. I didn't have to worry about nobody but myself. I mean, we had $5,000 equipment. We had the game readies for my shoulder. We had the game readies for my legs. It was a really great camp, and like Coach John never freaked out about nothing. He didn't freak out about how we were cutting the weight. I had a nutritionist who I added this camp. I had a strength and conditioning coach I added for this camp. Everything was everything was great, and I felt strong as hell. I felt strong as hell.
That's awesome, man. That's good. I mean, is that part of the reason for the quick turnaround?
Absolutely. We still learning my body at 160, and what we see in my last fight that I can exert more energy than what I did. I wasn't even tired. I'm tired after that, and it showed even my trainer and it showed even my manager. They were like, okay, where did that come from? And Coach John, he already knew because he seen me spar against the guys. It's just sometimes when you sparring against the guys, you have to be that sharp. And it's like with the girls, it's a build up mentally to get there, right? So I have to take out the part that they're women and fight them like the world champion. So, for that fight, I said, I'm not gonna. Of course, I want the knockout, but I'm not gonna force it. And people want to see me box. People enjoy 10 rounds of nothing but straight pressure, nothing but straight class, and you know, I want another belt. Now I got 3 belts at 160, and we just trying to learn my body for when I gotta go against Christina Hammer. You know, I'm gonna keep the same things, and after this fight December 8th, Christina Hammer is definitely we're trying to be undisputed. Right now, there's only one woman that's undisputed. That's Cecilia Brakes. I'm definitely going to be the second, but Christina Hammer don't even know her saying she's sick or being sick and giving me extra time to learn myself. Just getting her in more trouble. That's all.
Now, one thing that I can say, in your previous fights, it seemed like you wanted to come out and just dominate your opponent. Like no matter what, you wanted them to know that, hey, I'm the big bad. You know what I'm saying? But in the last fight, it seemed like you guys made a concerted effort to pick your shots more smart and to like really sit down on your shots, and your defense was on saying on fleek too. So just how has John David Jackson kind of like just tweaked it a little bit?
Well, one, he hasn't made me change a lot. Everything I do, he's like, you do it great. But he just wants me to be more patient, and he wants me to think more. And I do be thinking, but he want me to think more tactical, right? So up in camp, we got this uppercut bag. It's blue and black. I hate it. I hate this uppercut bag. And Coach John was like, every day we're going to hit this bag. Like, I want you to start implementing your uppercut, start implementing your hook. And my hook is always on. But he's like, I want them together. And he's like, I don't want this. Well, won't. He like, I want here, here. So he's making me pause with my punches, look at them, find them, feel where they at before I throw them. So we really just worked on just even like when they throw the jab, slip over here to the right, get the body shot, or slip over here to the left, get the uppercut, or get the hook over here. And I mean, it was a camp, where we worked on that stuff every day. We worked on some of my strong points, but we really worked on my weaknesses. And he will always, now there's a couple right hands that I threw at him because he said, "Don't throw it till I put it up." So if I jab, this is how I think. Boom, boom. He's like, don't throw it till I say throw it. So if he put this up, that's one, and he making you wait for the two. So it was sometimes that I would still throw it when I'm putting it up. He'd roll it because I almost hit Coach John. So it was taking a lot for me to get used to it, but like once I got the hang of it, I mean, we just learning, and we adding more stuff to the arsenal, and I'm just learning what I can and can't do, and anything that I can't do, we're gonna learn how to do. So
What's the biggest difference that you see from Coach John from your previous trainer?
um my previous trainer, he did a great job. He did a great job, taught me everything I know. People think that people say like I'm a natural, and I can say I'm a natural born fighter, sure, but I didn't teach myself my combinations, my head movement, my footwork, none of that. I was taught all of that by my former coach, Jason Crutchfield. Coach John just helped me transition from the amateur style. I was amateur with my coach for almost my entire amateur career. We won our first Olympic gold medal together, our first Junior Olympics, second Junior Olympics. We did all the amateur things together. USA Nationals, World Championships, all that stuff me and him did together. But it is a difference between amateur boxing and professional boxing. And I think that Coach John is just great at professional boxing. He knows how to make you adjust. Like he doesn't train me how he trains Luis Arias. It's something different for everybody, and he's great at learning that. And when you learn that, you can help a fighter improve because I don't need to improve on being fast and throwing combinations. I already do that. He want me to think now, use my IQ, break the girls down. That's what we're working on now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And from the last fight, it definitely looks like you guys are getting better and better at that. How does it feel to be on the last? Well, not officially. Is it official? Because they said they might do something else if it makes sense. But the last HBO card.
You know what? Women's boxing is taking over.
Hey, hey,
We is taking over. I'm just so happy, and I'm happy that it all started with me. Before I fought on Showtime, the main event, March 10th, for the WBC, the NABF. Uh, my boyfriend know better than I do. But before I fought for that title, women's boxing had not been on TV, had not been anywhere, but they were making noise about it, but we hadn't been anywhere. And then boom, soon as I start fighting there, ESPN started putting women on. HBO boxing stepped up and put Cecilia Brockets on. They put Maricela Cornejo and French on Cruz on ESPN. They got Michaela Mayer on ESPN, ESPN Plus, Sinicia Super Bad. You know, All this stuff started with me, and I'm happy that I could be the one to light the fire, and the girls just join with me to keep the fire going. So I'm just happy to be a part of this card, and I'm happy to be able to say that I'm a woman who fought on not only Showtime, but Showtime, The Zone, and HBO all in 1 year. I don't know no other woman that can say that right now. It's just me.
All right, I got a question for you. So you
Yeah, go
are a
ahead.
two division unified champion. You are a two-time gold medalist, but you're only 7-0, right?
7-0, two knockouts. Talk to me.
What makes T Rex the GOAT?
It's skill set. I'm not even talking about my power or knockouts or trash talk. It's not about that. When I look at other women box and also men, I think I should be in the men's pound for pound list, top 10. Put me at number 9, put me at number 10. But my skill set and the things that I could do, that's what puts me there. Like, one, let's talk about the conditioning of my fights. I don't get tired. If I do get tired, you watch these other guys fight. Sad to say, Adrian Broner, Fernando Vargas, um, Charlos.
You naming
Them,
names with this shit. Hold on.
listen, these guys. Austin Trout, I love Austin Trout. Heart of a lion, love him. But these guys conditioning for their fights. Like, how is y'all tired fifth and sixth round? And y'all going 12. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So it's like, okay, now since he passed conditioning, let's talk about resumes.
Hold
I
on,
got
hold
two
on, hold
Olympic
on.
gold medals.
Playing devil's advocate for the guys. I mean, I am a guy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
talk to me.
What what if they say, "Hey, we're fighting 3 minutes and you're only fighting two?"
I guarantee if they was to fight 2 minutes, they'd still be tired.
Okay,
Because you gotta exert more energy.
that's true.
You know,
That's
you
true.
gotta exert more energy. When you fighting 2 minute rounds, you don't got time to feel nobody out. You can feel them out maybe for 10, 20 seconds, but after that, it's time to go.
And that's why your promoter Dimitri Salita said he thinks the 2 minute rounds kind of hurts you more than they help because if some of them fights, if you're able to have 3 minute rounds, some of them girls would be getting out of there a lot faster. That's what he.
Yeah, because I remember my my previous fight against Hannah Rankin. I heard her 3 times at the end of the round. And then after that, it's like you heard her, she's stunned. I'm trying to go for the kill. Boom, the bell rang. So if I would have had another minute, maybe I would have got it.
She got a little call right
My
quick.
dad.
Be back. That's all good.
Everybody's calling because it's Thanksgiving.
That's all good.
But um,
And yeah,
I had heard her
we
the
working
last.
on Thanksgiving. So if you're watching this interview right now with T Rex Shields, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button and go follow IG on Twitter. And man, I'm telling you, she's a great follow. But she got another call because she popular, man. She popping out here, man. She getting calls all day.
Yeah, that's my dad. I'm gonna have to call him back in a minute. But that's what I'm saying though. So, and I actually do want them to train to change to change me from fighting. See this round where I'm stuck at. I want to fight 3 minutes, right? But where's the equal pay at? If we're gonna fight 3 minutes, y'all need to make it 3 minutes and also make it 12 rounds.
Mm.
Don't give us 3 minutes with 10 rounds. If y'all want it to be completely equal, give us 3 minutes, give us 12 rounds, or give us 2 minutes and give us 12 rounds. That's the only way that I see equality being able to actually come. You know what I mean? And also with equality now, women's boxing do have some attention. Like we got our own fans, we got our own people behind us. People want to see us fight. We're in the demand now, especially me versus Christina Hammer, me versus Celia Brockers, Frenchon versus Alicia Napoleon. You know, we're in a high demand now where people want to see us fight against each other.
I
And
know.
just with that, the networks are now like, you know what, we want to make these fights too.
I know many people, including myself. Ever since you turned pro, we have not missed a pro fight. Like have not missed one. And I know people that like are actually like this. Like every time you fight on Showtime, and they did it so well because they would put you on a Friday night where it's like, hey man, I'm watching her. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them and just shout out to you for like being a pioneer to like getting these women out here and helping them out. How important is equal pay to you?
It's very important because I feel like I'm one of the hardest workers that I know. You know, it's not that I only have to train hard. Yeah, boxing comes to me naturally. I'm a natural born fighter, but that don't mean that I shouldn't get paid. I still gotta work hard. I still have to not eat on Thanksgiving because I gotta make weight for December 8th. I gotta spend a lot of time away from my family. I have to seclude myself, and I gotta train super hard on top of dealing with social media. Like social media people, I have to protect myself mentally from them. It's so many trolls and so many boxing pages that just hate on me just because I'm a great woman fighter and I talk trash and they're not used to it and I'm not humble. And people don't know that with me being only 23, like I fight people over that kind of stuff.
Come
You
on, man.
know?
You're professional now. You're professional.
Right. So I'm professional, but it's like, how many times you gonna keep poking at me and poking at me? Then if you see me in person, you really can't poke at me because I just don't play those kind of games.
Hey
But it's
man,
like
somebody,
they really be like they like very disrespectful, and I have to seclude myself and stay focused on boxing. And staying focused on boxing is not just, oh, you got to train 6 weeks to get ready for a fight. Even when I'm not training for a fight, I'm still training 3 days a week to keep my body in shape so I don't get to 183 no more.
somebody
So
being
it's
on
it's
social
everything I
media.
have to do.
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So
Yeah, you ain't got no haters. Yeah, you definitely not popping, but the haters is stupid
I'm
though.
telling you, the more people talk about you, good, bad, indifferent, they talking about you. So somebody else is listening to them talk about you. So they got to come and see what they're talking about. And everybody's
Right.
not gonna have the same opinion that that person had. That's all I'm saying.
It's a lot of good opinions. And people really do. It's a lot of people that do respect me as being the greatest woman of all time. And there's some that don't. And there's some that are changing their opinions as we speak
Somebody
from
picked
watching my last fight.
Layla Ali. I mean, she was
Yeah.
on the Breakfast Club previously, and I seen you. I seen you come back with a little post or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then I don't think she really wanted no smoke. But and talk like Ann Wolf, like those kind of women. You don't think those women have a right to say, hey, we should be considered for the greatest of all time?
Absolutely. They absolutely. I never want to take away from their accomplishments, but I'm not even talking about as far as in resumes go. I'm talking about a skill set. When you watch and Wolf fight, you watch me fight. Who do you think is better skilled? Some people say they favor the puncher. Look, Ann Wolf, I said my damn self. I think she was way stronger than me. Now would she be able to hit me with those big shots? Probably not, because if I know you hitting like that, she wasn't the fastest either. She had pop. Now I'm gonna move my head and try to break you down some, and then try to fight you a little bit. But when you look at her fight and you look at me fight, who's better skilled? I say myself. Look at Layla Ali fight and look at me fight. I feel like I'm better skilled. Christy Martin, I'm definitely better skilled than her. Lucia Riker, I felt like she was something special. She was really something special. But I still feel like when I watch her fight and I watch me fight, I do things better than what she did. So that's where it comes from. It's not at a dislike or trying to down them for their accomplishments. I love Layla Ali. I love Ann Wolf. I love Lucia Riker. I love Christy Martin. Those women made women's boxing relevant. Rather it was at the same time, rather they fought each other, whatever. But I know when you start to add the numbers up, I have fought against. I'm the fastest woman to win a world title within 4 fights. And then, okay, 2 Olympic gold medals. They didn't have the chance for the Olympic gold medal, so let's not even count that. But now, when you even think about my amateur experience, they had the chance to do that. I think Layla Ali probably had 4 or 5 fights amateur. She turned pro. Now, as we go pro, like I said, I'm winning all these titles and at all these different weight classes, and I'm only 7-0 with 2 knockouts right now. And that's why I say I'm the greatest woman of all time. And people say, "Oh, well, you don't got the knockouts." Okay, well, how's Cecilia Brockett ranked number 1 and she's 34-0 with only 9 knockouts? Nobody want to talk about her 9 knockouts, and I can't even hear you.
That's true. No, no, no. I was just
Okay.
letting you talk. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to interrupt and like that. But yeah, that's absolutely true. Nobody brings up her 9 KOs, but they 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 say she's the pound for pound best lady in boxing. But
I feel like my boxing skills are better than hers too. I
yeah,
like her.
I didn't like her last fight. I didn't. I think she got She got exposed to a certain extent, but I still thought she won. But thought the lady
The,
fought that had some success.
these girls in the USA are are a different kind of toughness than the girls abroad are. I mean, no disrespect to them, but when you come over here and you fight a girl from the USA, these girls is hitting. These girls is mean. These girls want to fight. I think one of the fights that you seen two mean, rough warriors go at it was the fight with me and Frenton Cruz. They were just like, people say that we stole the fight of the night on the Andre Ward Kovalov card. Now I told them we didn't, but they're like,
The
you
first or
you
second
guys
one?
fight. It was the first one.
Let me see. I remember the fight. I remember the fight. I gotta go back and watch it. I gotta go back and watch it. I
Yeah,
watched.
you go back and watch French Iron Cruz versus Claressa Shields on in our pro debut. It was nothing but smoke and fire.
Oh, absolutely,
It was.
absolutely.
She was throwing leather. I was throwing leather. We both wasn't backing down. It was one of those fights. They were like an action packed fight, and I'm happy that was my pro debut because it really showed what level women's boxing was on.
Absolutely. How did you end up getting linked up with Dimitri Salita and Salita Promotions?
Well, he's based out of Detroit,
What
and
up, though?
yeah, he based out of Detroit, and this dude named Dennis Turner. He used to train in my gym with me when I was a kid, and he used to also sponsor our gym, like sponsor some of our gear and stuff. But he trained at the gym with us, and I hadn't seen Dennis Turner in years. And then one day, he shows up to my gym. Matter of fact, I think he called me, and I knew exactly who he was. And I was like, "Hey, what's going on, Dennis?" And from talking to him, and then Salida said he had interest and said, he had relationships with Showtime, and that they were interested in having me fight, and I could be the woman to bring boxing back to Detroit. And I had talked to a few different promoters, and when I told them my game plan of how great I was, you know how you sit there talking to somebody and they looking at you like,
Man,
yeah,
yeah, bro.
we,
Get
you're
out of here.
right, yeah, we listening, but we don't believe you.
You need
And it was like I was sitting with promoters who had never seen me fight. Only thing they knew was that I had two Olympic gold medals. And to me, that was like, how could they even understand my vision if they never seen me fight? So I'm really just sitting here blowing smoke up their ass because they like, we don't believe shit you say. You're just another woman fighter. And the thing that really made me cling to Dimitri was he watched my fights. He had been to the gym when I trained. He had inside info from Dimitri. I mean, from Dennis Turner, and who's also a fighter himself. And when I told him, I said, I think by my fourth fight, fifth fight, I should be fighting. I told him that I wanted to fight Christina Hammer my seventh fight. I said I want to fight two fights at. I want to fight two 4 rounders, two 6 rounders, two eight, and then fight her my seventh fight. And Dimitri said, Claressa, whatever you want to do. And I'm let you know right now, I think you can have a world title before then. And he was like, so I want you to know, like, whatever you believe you can do, I believe you can do. And he was like, you are the greatest woman of all time. We just got to make sure that you get put on TV. And I was like, look, I'm willing to fight whoever y'all think the best girls is, bring them. And that's exactly what he did.
now we have a lot of people out here taking notice. Most notable, well, not I wouldn't say most notable, but recently, most notably was 50 Cent Curtis Jackson. He posted a video clip that you had done in the Olympics on his page. Just talk about like when you saw it, or like when you woke up the next day and you first saw it. Like, what did you think about it?
Well, I was confused at first because I was like, why is everybody adding me in my own post? Right. And I'm like, what the heck? So then finally, uh, I was on Facebook and somebody was like, 50 Cent gave you a shout out. And I was like, what? So I went to Instagram and I went to his page and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Because I've met 50 Cent in person before.
Oh, for
And
real?
yeah, he like real laid back, got one of his security guards with him. Like he leave before the fight is even over. Like once he know who won the fight, he leave really, really fast. And I remember one day I was talking to him and him and Dimitri know each other. And Dimitri was just telling him like, yeah, Claressa loves you, you know, this one of my fighters, blah blah blah, and introduced me to him. And he was like, so you a boxer? I said, yeah. And he was like, you from Flint? And I was like, yeah, I'm the girl from Flint. And then he was just like, oh, okay, all right, all right. So he knew who I was. And that was kind of about it. I've never got a picture with him because it's kind of like sometimes you feel like people, you don't want to bother nobody. So I didn't want to bother him, so I didn't ask for a picture. But maybe next time I see him, I will. But I was like, yo, this is crazy. But it was super exciting for me, and it brought a lot of attention to my upcoming fight. So I was happy about that.
Absolutely. I really want to touch on Flint because I know the water crisis is still going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any solution or any kind of um, solution on the horizon?
So they have started fixing the pipes, but you and I both know that they're going to fix the pipes in the rich areas
Of
first.
course.
So all the middle class and uh, low class areas, they're not going to fix till last. And now they're saying that since the majority of the pipes are fixed, that they're done fixing them now. And so,
And you still
you
got
know,
people living off bottled water, right? So people know.
yes, I still have family that right now drinking bottled water, showering with cold to warm water. Can't even use the water on your food. You know, for Thanksgiving, people clean off their turkey with bottled water, rinsing off their chicken with bottled water, and they had the funds to fix it. And then they're saying that the funds went to somewhere and they can't find it. All this bullshit, them lying, politics, a politician is not being honest and not really caring about the black people, or it's me caring about people, period. But especially the black people, and they promised us that once the money was there, that they would fix all the pipes, and now they're going back on their word and wanting to keep the money that people gave to Flint to help with the water crisis. And now they're saying that they don't know where the money went, and they have to use the money for this for people suing them. It's like, so the money that they gave y'all to fix the pipes, y'all gonna pay people that's suing y'all to what? It don't even make sense. So
That's
you
crazy.
know, I just tell people to continue to give out bottled water, to sing your prayers. It's a few websites like Bottles for Babies on the GoFundMe that when you give money to them, that they actually go and buy the water for the Flint residents, and they even take it to some people's houses. Um, I'm gonna do a water giveaway whenever I get some more time, but it's just very um, it's disheartening to know that they're still going through that, and that's why I wear my blue hair, so people can know like that stands for the Flint water crisis, and I'm going to keep wearing blue hair till the Flint water crisis is over.
Who made your previous uniform?
Frenton Cruz, the heavy
Okay.
hitting diva, super middleweight champion. Yes, she made
That
my uniform for me.
was cool, man. It was cool. Nice colors on it and everything.
Yeah, you know what? She sent me two options. She because I hit her up so late, because I didn't even know I was going to be fighting November 17th. Once Christina Hammer called in sick, we was only 6 or 5 weeks out from the fight.
That's
So
true.
it was like, wasn't no girls like they're going to fight me with that kind of notice.
Real quick, what was your first thought when the call came in? Hey, Hammer, man, she's sick. She ain't trying to fight you on the 17th.
I started laughing, and I told my manager Mark not to play with me like that.
You thought he was playing?
I thought it was a joke. I'm not even lying. I thought it was like nothing more than a joke. Oh, he got a
I'm still
phone
here.
call.
Nope. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, I had thought it was a joke. And I started laughing. I said, Mark, do not play with me like that. He's like, he took a deep breath and he was like, yeah, Claressa, I'm serious. I'm sorry. And I said, what? I said, what do you mean she's sick? Sick with what? And he just saying, oh, this and that. She's saying she want to push the fight back a couple weeks. I said, Mark, we already done pushed the fight back a whole month already. You know, we were supposed to fight October 15th, and then October 30th, and then November 17th. No, it was November 3rd, then November 17th. And then they're just like, yeah, she want to push it back a few weeks. And I'm like, man, I've already been in camp 6, 7 weeks already. and we got 5 weeks, and we got 4 or 5 weeks left. What are you talking about? I'm like, she needs, what is it? Can we send doctors? So we sent doctors over there, and everybody confirmed that she was um, sick, but she was making it seem like she was getting ready to die or something.
Hold on, hold on. Y'all sent your own doctors over to like just to prove the fact that she was sick.
Absolutely had our doctor sit down with her doctor. This was a big fight. We already had signed our contracts and everything. Showtime had us a date. We were just about to. We just did the press conference 2 days ago. Tickets were on sale. People had already tried to buy tickets and stuff. So it was a big deal. We had to make sure, that it was a legit reason for us to postpone the fight. And kind of find out it was. But I think I don't know. I feel like she knew about it way before then. She just
Do you think she wants to fight?
she
Honestly,
says she wants to fight. She says it, but I knew over the phone when we did our press release and we were on the phone with all the reporters and they were asking us questions. I could tell in her tone that something was wrong, and I felt like she didn't want to fight me from her tone. And then when I got the call 2 days later, I said that my tone was right. But I already had text Mark that day, and I was like, Mark, she sounded weird over the phone. He said, "What did you mean?" I said, "She didn't sound excited."
all right. I got some Patreon questions from our fans, and Patreon is like a something to do outside of YouTube, and like where people go and like support us. If you want to like just give $3 a month or whatever you want to give, then you can. So sometimes we post this ask a fighter, and the people who post normally are the people that pay whatever. So do you mind if I ask you some of these questions?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Okay, the first question comes from Robman Egram. Matter of fact, all the questions come from him. He has like 10 of them, so he's a big
Okay.
fan.
Whoa. Okay.
For real. We all heard the story of how you got into the game, but why do you think boxing could become a career when so many females haven't made two pennies?
Um, I think I'm different. I think my skills are better. I think that I have a great personality. And just on top of that, I think when you have passion with something, you kind of just go for it. I know that I was born to be a boxer once I started. And all my gifts that I have is God given. And God already told me that I'm going to make millions of dollars in boxing. He told me I will win 2 Olympic gold medals. He told me I will fight on Showtime. God has given me more than what I asked for in my boxing career. But he's doing that because I'm the woman that's going to take women's boxing to that level to where it's on the same playing field as the men's boxing. So that's why I continue to do it. I already know what the big picture is. It's just all about taking the steps to get there.
Absolutely. At the age of 23, you are well on your way. How did you hook up with John David Jackson?
Um, well, he trains here in Florida, and my whole thing was I wanted to train and live in Florida because I've been living here for almost 2 to 3 years now, and I couldn't focus in Michigan, so my former trainer didn't want to come train with me here, so I had to find another coach, and I didn't have a lot of time. And I had seen Coach John, and I was in the gym with Coach John, Michael Moore. It was a few different coaches, but I like the way that Coach John held pads and the way that he talked to his fighters.
You were knocked down by Hannah Gabriels. You gave
Mm-hmm.
the corner a disgusted look, and you gave John a serious look. What were you thinking at that time?
I didn't give John a look.
You
I
didn't?
looked at the I looked at the canvas. I looked at how the hell did I get down here.
Maybe
I don't
talking
I
about.
don't blame my corner. I don't blame anybody for
He
anything.
he was like saying like disgusted, like maybe like frustration or something like that. He wasn't mean like you were looking at your corner with like malice or anything like that.
No, no, I don't remember looking at that when I fell. I remember looking at the canvas, looking like, yeah, okay, I'm down here on the canvas. And when I got up and I finished the round, I went back to the corner. I took a deep breath. I wasn't uh shocked or anything. I more of just was like, okay, I definitely got to win the next 2 rounds to even it out, and then I can start putting the pressure. But I have to make sure I win these next 2 rounds, or else I'll be down on the scorecards.
Okay, absolutely. This is a damn good question right here. there is one decision that most professional men don't have to think about in their careers. But as a female, you might. Do you want to have children? And if so, what does that mean for your career?
Yeah, I want to have children one day, but you're only young for such amount of time. You can always have kids, just like you can always go to college. So I'm just going to do everything that I want to do with my career, and maybe have some kids at 30. I don't know, 31. I think that my body will be in great condition still, and I'm not really. I mean, I want to have kids and everything, but I'm not in a rush for it.
Okay, yeah, I got a question, but I'm not really comfortable asking that one, so we're gonna skip that one.
What was it? It's something
No,
crazy.
it's some personal stuff, and I
Oh, okay.
um,
Good.
it seems like most female boxers don't care for the shorter rounds. Is there anything you are doing to protest this inequality? We kind of talked about that.
About the shorter rounds?
Yeah. Is there anything that like women are doing like actively to like protest like the shorter rounds, or do you know?
I feel like they don't tell us that we can't fight 3 minute rounds. I feel like it's really a choice. If you let it's more about you and your opponent agreeing to the terms. So if you have an opponent and you say, "Hey, I want to fight 3 minute 12 rounds or 3 minute 10 rounds," and if your opponent says no, then y'all got to stick to the 2 minutes. But there are some girls who do agree on the 3 minutes, and that's what they fight. I know some girls that fight 3 minutes is a Layla McCarter, Nicola Adams has fought 3 minute rounds. It's a few other girls I can't remember, but I know that it's been some. But it's all about you and your opponent agreeing to those terms.
How recent is this like 2 minute round thing? Because I hasn't been around that long, has it?
No, 2 minutes has always been women's boxing,
Really?
even in the amateurs. Yeah.
Oh wow, I thought it was 3 minutes for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, they just switched it to three minute rounds in the amateurs, but it used to be four 2 minute rounds.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
they just switched it to three-minute rounds. But they have some weird excuse saying that some doctor did some tests on women saying that women bodies can't handle being hit for 3 minutes like the men can.
Of course,
And
if they
I'm
been
like,
hit by a
who
man, no.
made?
But if they fighting another woman, then let them fight.
Yeah, it don't even make it. Listen, I don't know who the doctor was that made up this BS, but even in the pros, they say, oh, it's been proven that women boxers need to fight 2 minutes for their safety. And I'm like, what? I, I spar 3 minute rounds with the men, so I don't even know what they talking about. I've been doing that for years.
Okay, absolutely. Would you ever dabble in MMA if there was a lot of money on the line?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really trying to get women's boxing to get that kind of money. But I have thought about MMA before, for sure. For
Really?
sure. Yes, I have. And people really be wanting me to do it. Like, I even somebody who's a world champion in MMA, one of their coaches reached out to me. Well, it's kind of like we reached out to each other on some stuff, and uh, we were definitely going to start the training.
Cyborg?
No, I wasn't Cyborg's
Oh,
trainer.
okay.
No,
I'm reaching out here. I'm reaching. What about what's my girl name? Holly Holm?
it wasn't a woman.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Motown Phenom. What's up?
No.
Oh for three. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
One more. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think who else fights out of freaking the Michigan area. I don't know, man.
It's
John
not
Jones.
even who no, but warmer, but it's not him. All right, good. All right.
All right, here we go. Hardcore boxing fans have heard of the tremendous business of boxing from a male's perspective, but not from a female's. Have you ever gone through anything, and can you shed any light on the business of boxing from a female's perspective, or what would you teach another up and comer?
I want to teach another up and comer. Just read those contracts, and not only read those contracts, have a lawyer read them, And people say that lawyers cost a lot, but man, how much money they save you is ridiculous. And how they can negotiate for you is phenomenal. Um, and people always go off of numbers. You read a paper and you like, oh, your purse gonna be $125,000. You get all excited. Oh my God, that's so much money, but they don't even know what your obligations are. Like, read what your obligations are. Read what the promoter and the network obligation is to you. What do you got to pay for? What do they got to pay for? What comes out your purse?
No
And
turkey,
it's
no
a
turkey.
it's a it's a lot of boxers um who just not good at reading, man. I'm sorry, these guys. I don't know. I was in honors classes growing up for
She
school.
said they ain't good at reading, but damn.
Like they really just like everybody gets so moved by numbers. Like, hey, somebody put $1 million check right there in front of you, and they give you this contract. You just sign, and I give you this check. You don't even know what you people get so excited. And with me, I've already signed some bad contracts in the amateurs. So that's why now I'm just like, I'm not signing nothing without my lawyer looking at it for at least 2 to 3 days.
Absolutely.
He got to look through it. He got to read it. He got to do all that stuff before I sign anything.
Have you ever put down a male sparring partner? And what weight are the men you spar?
Yeah, I had put down a few male sparring partners. Um, One was a heavyweight. One was a 152 pounder. One was a 130 pounder. I used to spar a lot of 150 guys. I have put down a few male sparring partners, and it
Okay.
was more of like it was a few guys with some body shots, and it was a few guys to the head.
Okay. I think we already answered this question. Because there are not many female stars, I've noticed women have to jump around and weight. How do you cut weight, and what's the lowest you're willing to go? What's the highest you're willing to go? And we said 154 and 175. But
Hmm.
um, how do you how do you cut weight? I guess that's the question.
See if I told you that secret, then everybody would be doing it. So I
Exactly.
can't even say it.
What can you tell us about Michaela Mayer to boost her profile up?
Michaela Moore, Michaela Mayer profile is built up. She's an Olympian. She's
Absolutely.
a she's a hell of a fighter. She's strong. Um, Her and Katie Taylor is the fight to make. It's gonna be one of those women fights, like fights of the century, because
Mm,
they're both so skilled. They're both so strong. And everybody wanted to see that fight in the amateurs too. Everybody wanted to see it, but it's like they never met each other ever. But I think Michaela continues to get better each fight. You know, from her first fight to now, I believe she's like 8-0. She really is getting better. She's showing her skills. She's knocking girls out. I mean, she's really pushing herself, and I just love it. She's a great fighter.
the Olympics have said they might allow professionals to box. Would you consider going back for another go? Also, what do you think of the no headgear policy in the Olympic amateur boxing now?
Um, I so would I ever go back to the Olympics for sure if they let me, but in the U.S. they already decided that they're not.
Okay.
Um, and I've already asked them since 2016 was over. Like 2020, y'all want me to come back? You know, they want me to stay amateur, but I said I can't put my greatness on hold too much longer, so I'm not gonna put it on hold for 4 more years. And y'all ain't doing nothing big for me. Y'all not paying me a lot. Like no, I'm not gonna do that. So I decided to turn pro, and I made more money than I made in 2 years than I made in 5 years with USA Boxing. So I definitely made a great decision.
Absolutely.
Um, and then what was the last part you asked me?
Last part was, what do you think about the no headgear policy in the Olympics now?
I think the no headgear policy should be for the women and the men. They took the headgears off the men, and I believe the youth, 17 to 18, but they still got the headgear on the women. It's like, to me, disrespectful. So you're telling me a 17 to 18-year-old boy can fight with no headgear, but a woman that's 19 through 41 can't fight without a headgear because it's dangerous. All
Um,
these all these double standards and stuff in boxing. I just can't wait for it to be over, and that's what I'm just fighting for. Everybody say I'm a great fighter and everything. I am, but I'm also a great women's advocate, and I really do press the issue with them paying me like they pay the men putting me on TV, promoting me. You understand? When you hear about a man's fight 2 months before the fight even come, they're promoting it. They're doing press tours. They're doing 24/7s. If you did that for the women, we would have so many more eyes. People would be more intrigued by us, and they will follow us because they will know us more and they will have an insight into our lives. But you can't announce our fights a month before and then want us to sell out venues and then just use our social media platform and all this stuff without giving us any kind of push. That's the same push that you give the men.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with that 1,000%. That there have been a lot of no, I'm sorry about that. There have been many male champions that say sanction fees are ridiculous for belts. Since women don't make as much as their male counterparts, do you feel the same, especially since you have so many belts?
Um, well, me and my promoter is like sometimes he pays for the sanctioning fees, sometimes I pay for them. It comes out of my purse, but it's not different sanctioning fees for different people. It's a percentage.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's a percentage for every belt, and that's just what it is. So however much you make, that's what you got to pay more. You know, but with me and my promoter, sometimes he pays it, sometimes I pay it, but all in all, it get paid. So
That was the
yeah.
last Patreon question. Now I have some questions that I always play like a little game with all my guests before I let them go. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, yeah, let's go.
All right. First one: pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Why?
I think they taste better. Strangely,
Okay. Hot,
they're more fluffier.
hot or cold?
I'd rather be hot than cold in the day.
Absolutely, me too. Me too. If I could live in one time in history, when would it be?
Um, Back when Sugar Ray Robinson was alive.
Ooh, okay, okay, okay. If I had one superpower, it would be what?
To read minds.
You don't think that's like dangerous, man?
Hell no, I want to know the truth.
You could drive somebody crazy knowing what everybody else is thinking, in my opinion. Since it is Thanksgiving and I know you can't eat, you know what I'm saying, because you got the fight coming up, but what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
I have a few. I love strawberry cheesecake. I
Mm,
love spaghetti salad.
mm.
I love the chicken wing off the turkey.
Yeah, me too, man. Oh,
That's
hell.
the best part. Um, what else? Oh, and pumpkin pie. Oh my God, yes.
See, I'm from Mississippi, and I never ever heard of pumpkin pie till I came up to
I meant
Thanksgiving.
sweet potato pie. My
There you
bad.
go. I'm
That's the best one, sweet potato.
that's what Martha Stewart cooked. Um, right there, top of my head. The first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is
Go to the bathroom.
the three most important things in my life are.
Um, God, family, boxing.
I fell in boxing. If I could only listen to three albums for the rest of my life, they would be
3 albums, huh?
just three.
You got to give me my Meek Mill's album,
Okay.
Dream Chasers. Um, you got to give me some girl stuff. So give me that new Beyonce. Even the Beyonce before this one was pretty good. And I gotta have my gospel music. So give me that Tasha Cobbs. Oh man, or Tamla Man. One of them.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Damn, I just went blank. I don't know what's going on here today. I just went totally blank. I'm just gonna edit this part out.
You thinking about turkey?
Man, I'm so damn hungry right now. It don't even make no sense. But all right, here we go. My favorite cartoon or TV show as a kid was
Mm, my favorite cartoon as a kid was Kids Next Door, or Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Uh, Boxing has changed my life. In what way?
Um, I don't know, like financially, boxing has changed my life. Spiritually, boxing has changed my life. Socially, I'm like a celebrity and stuff now. Um,
You said spiritually.
yeah,
Elaborate on that a little bit.
you need God to get through these camps sometime.
Okay.
Just to be able to focus the way I do, to stay strict on my eating schedule, to just really just give your life to God. The more I've opened myself up to let God guide me, that's when I see the best. That's when I see the best me, and I have the strongest mental, and it's just I see better results. Whenever I start doing things on my own, like I could do this, I could do that. I don't need nobody. You always need God, and that's when I see bad things, start to happen. But God lets you deal with the bad things, and He lets you know that He's going to handle it. Like you can't handle this, Miss Superwoman. You need to go sit down somewhere. And God handles situations and things way better than I ever could. So I try to stay in tune with Him, and staying in tune with Him makes me box better. So it's all kind of like it's all intertwined. It's all together, which I'm so grateful for. You ever heard somebody say, realize what your gift and your passion is? See, your passion is what you want to do, something you love to do. Your gift is what you're good at without even trying. Thank God that both my gift and my passion both are boxing. That's what makes my life so much easier. But some people try to put their all in their passion, when it's like God gave you a gift, and your gift you do better than anybody else. That's what's gonna make your life better. That's what God wants you to do. But you deciding you want to be a singer because that's your passion, but you can't sing. You understand what I'm saying? And God wants you to cook cakes, make pies, but you talking about you want to be a singer.
I
You
mean,
gonna sing to the people whenever they come buy your pies. Don't nobody want to hear you singing.
you can sing while you're making them or something. You can work it out. Something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
My last question for you: 100 years, 200 years from now, when people see the name Clarissa T. Rex Shields, they Google it, they whatever the hell they're gonna be doing in 200 years. What do you want them to know about you, and what kind of mark do you want to leave on the history and the history books?
Well, in 200 to 100 years, I want to be when they Google my name, I want all my videos, all my pictures, all my crazy interviews to show up, and I want them uh, to be able to say, "This is the woman that made boxing equal." This is the woman that showed who she truly is and made it easier for us boxers now. And that I want them to know that I was a believer in God, and that I did everything that I wanted to do in my life. That I didn't change myself for the media, the endorsements, the sponsorships. That I was completely myself, and I still got everything that was owed and deserved. For me. And then I want them to know too, like, this is the first woman and the first person to have two Olympic gold medals from the United States in boxing, because it probably never get done again.
Absolutely, bling bling. Uh, Give the people your social media and let them know when your next fight is, what where you'll be fighting, and what network you'll be fighting on.
Yep. So my next fight is December 8th at the StubHub Center in Carson City, California on HBO Boxing. I'll be the television opener. And my social media is at Claressa Shields. And it's not Clarissa, it's Claressa. So Claressa
Thank
Shields.
God.
Shields.
I spelled it right, but I'm pretty sure you see it down there. But I'm like, damn, hope I spelled it right.
I don't even see it.
You don't see it? Well, hey, I spelled it right anyway. Don't even worry about it. Take my word for it. Here
Okay.
you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another great episode with the one and only Claressa Shields. Peace out. To next time.
Peace. See you.